Disclaimer, this video contains spoilers for the level mentioned in the title. If you want to figure it out yourself, please skip my video for your own good. Also, I know some people might do it, but out of respect for the creator, do not use this walkthrough as a means to get free moons. I suggest you actually try this level instead. So, in a stream about 3 months ago, I was scouring through the awarded tab just looking for levels to play and gain stars from, when I came across this level called Over Again. At first I thought it was a simple platformer, but turns out it was a lot more than just that. It was actually an elaborate ARG made in and outside of GD.
What code? Is that like a guessing game?
Obviously, being confused by the ominous interface being presented to me, I tried going for random codes at first, and after doing that, I was finally advised to check the level description for clues.
Okay, check description. Do you feel like chasing sunlight?
And in fact, clicking on the original level led me to the next piece of this puzzle, which ended up marking the start of a long journey that I was completely unprepared for.
And I would rather just figure it out myself than looking in the comments.
Well, I ended up accidentally being spoiled in the comments here, so yay, guess I had to go down that hole. And I died. However, rebeating this level gave me the next code to put in. Doing that took me to a minigame-like section with the next clue hidden in the dialogue, prompting me to turn on low detail mode, which unlocked all necessary controls in the first room. I then found this secret hallway in one of the walls that got increasingly brighter the farther I went. When I eventually reached the end, I was directed to a different level ID. To keep track of those and more complex codes later on, I decided to take screenshots throughout the ARG, instead of trying to memorize them and risking forgetting them. The next level in order was a layout that, to my surprise, turned completely no-clip, and soon after I was hit with another bit of lore. I was told to visit Sepia, which was conveniently the creator's first uploaded level, under the premise that there were secret ways that would reveal the next clue. The aforementioned secret ways took me a while to find, but I eventually got there by jumping off a slope, and was immediately greeted with a pop-up telling me to head to Optical's YouTube channel to check out a video's upload date.
December 21st.
This was the first time I had to go outside of GD for a clue. After getting confused with the date format, another hidden section of the main level was revealed. It was basically chasing sunlight again, but this time it had rows of spikes placed in a specific pattern, and after thinking about it for a while with my dumb little brain, I realized they contained a secret message written in Morse code.
Short, long.
So I took on the tedious process of counting the spikes, pausing the level after each letter, and writing down the code to decipher it. However, the time wasted was worth it in the end, as it revealed a new level as well as its creator.
Putting it in a translator. 2019 buy upstored this level.
This was another one of those levels where I had to find some sort of secret way, and again, it took me a bit longer to find than I'd like to admit. But eventually, I was bombarded with another text wall. This is when circles were introduced in this ARG, which at first complicated things a lot more.
Learn about circles. When a circle is present next to a code, it means something. It means you must submit said code 5 times in a row. If a number is present after a circle, it's called an overflow. It means you must submit your code 5 times plus that number. What?
And again, it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out that the code I needed was already there, written in plain text. I even ended up backtracking to previous levels instead of just using that code that was literally given to me in 2019's text wall.
Wait, what circles? What code? What is the code?
So I finally got the brilliant idea of inputting the code that was in front of my very eyes this entire time.
Okay, apparently that worked.
Which took me to yet another section of the code level, a text loop with the message tap to redirect at the end. Now this is where I got even more stupid because I didn't know which button to tap to redirect, and thought the next clue would be hidden in the story, especially in that enchantment table looking text. After discovering that it was completely irrelevant and pretty much led me to nowhere, I really thought I was stuck here, and wasted over 20 minutes doing everything apart from the obvious, until I simply decided to redirect by clicking when I was told to. Speaking of time consuming, the next part of this ARG clearly takes the cake for this. I was brought to what I'm gonna call the trial room. It contained 4 different level snippets that I had to find and follow the instructions in the text boxes to get the clues for the seemingly final code. And this part was by far the most painful, as I had to check every single PAHC level in order to piece together the code, because I had no idea which levels contained these types of decoration. At least knowing one of the levels from memory helped me narrow down the search.
Oh, do I have to play Go You again?
But I still have 3 to go, and so it all continued. During the search, I was given yet another level ID that belonged to a maze level, which was pretty fun, but at the same time really hard to figure out. Fortunately, after spending a few minutes trying to read it myself, arrows appeared that guided me through the level and revealed the next bit of information. In total, it took me almost an hour to find all necessary bits of code, which I then had to piece together, and all I had left to do was insert the final product into the code level. But oh well, it was far from over.
Okay. What do you mean access denied?
After messaging the email shown on screen, I decided to just wrap it up for the day and continue tomorrow.
Okay, I just sent them an email with my spam account. Not sure if I'll get a response or anything.
While I was gone, I received this cryptic email response and had more than enough time to think about it before I started my next stream. Day 2.
Then I had to send an email and I got a response really quickly, and they told me to go to this account that has currently created 5 challenges and 1 full level.
And yet again, I was misled by focusing solely on the full level and refusing to beat the challenges for now. Obviously, it didn't get me any further, only making me think that I'm stuck again. That was until I finally made the decision to practice all of the challenges, which each gave me part of the next code.
Going back to over again. Over and over.
Putting it in the level gave me the last bits of lore, and after waiting for a bit, the actual final code was revealed.
You don't even bother with engage with any of mine. I literally played all of their levels. How about I don't let you engage in this one, just to rub it in. So yeah. Bye. To beat the level, restart.
Now all I had left to do was just type it in, and it was finally over.
That's right. Okay. Over again. And there we go, I think we beat the ARG. That was really interesting, I'm not gonna lie. It was really fun actually uncovering all the solutions myself rather than watching a video. I don't think I've ever actually beaten an ARG before, or something similar to that, especially not in GD. It's a really cool concept, the fact that it's in the game, and that people can do such amazing things on 2.2. Just updating levels, putting clues in them, so...
And that's it for this video. If you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe and maybe comment ideas on what other things I could do in this game, because by now pretty much everything has been done already. But yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one then. Goodbye!